Yeah. Oh, it's time for victory. It's time for triumph. Not only is it time for victory, we want to talk about victory. That's why the podcast is called Victory Talk, because that's all we talk about. We don't talk. Let the losers talk about the other shit. We here for victory talk. Let's get it started. Yeah. You know what it is. It's another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. Turn my headphones up a little bit. Yeah. You know what it is. All right, this is episode 171, man. We keep doing this shit. All right. This is a podcast where we talk about how to help you grow your money, your muscle, and your mindset. All right. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente. And I'm joined by, my co-host / producer, the homie Nemo. What up, man?
Let's go. Super excited. 171 episodes.
It's a lot of episodes, man.
It is.
A lot of episodes, And of course, we got Minovia. Man in the super chats, you know what I'm saying? She's kicking out the haters. When you leave a super chat, she's gonna read it. Yeah, this is the only podcast where they get a big titty Latina to read your super chats. Joe Rogan ain't doing that. You can't even super chat Joe Rogan. What? Step your game up. All right, and step your game up, Joseph. All right. Let's get into it. We got a lot we want to cover today. We're going to talk about how you can get more done in less time today. That's one of the things we're going to talk about, man. Productivity. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things we're going to focus on. We're also going to talk about the market, the market update. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to answer all your questions, get some fitness advice. But first, before we get started, we got to pay some bills. We got sponsors we need to mention. First sponsor is the newsletter Big Money Methods. It's the first link in the description. Is it? No, it's one of the links in the description. Yeah, it's like the fifth link in the description. Anyway, join that newsletter. It's a newsletter where we show you once you join it twice a week, you're going to get articles written by me, my top salesman, Chris, and the homie Singh, who's my top copywriter. And we write articles and we put them together. We curate information to help you get big money, articles to help you get big money. It's free. All right. Ain't gonna charge you nothing. It's dope. You're welcome. All right. Also, now this is the important one. It's the first link. I think this one should be the first. This is the first. Which one's the first? Yeah, the one you just sent. Oh, that's the first? Or accelerator. Oh, accelerator. That's okay. Yo, so next week I'm launching a program called the Influencer Domination Accelerator. All right. And this is where I'm going to work with you. Right. I'm going to work with a group of people, and I'm going to show you guys how to grow your social media on YouTube. All right. Instagram and TikTok. Okay. I'm going to show you what to post, how to post stuff that gets, way more views. It goes It gets virality. You know what I'm saying? And this will allow you to grow your following. And I'm gonna show you what to do, but I'm also gonna be reviewing your content. We're gonna work together for weeks, right? For a bunch of weeks in a row. And during that time, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna turn you into a content creation machine, give you the best practice, how to film content, what cameras to use, what to film with, how to edit the shit, so it pops, right? How to write your captions so they get more shit popping, right? I'm gonna break this whole shit down. It's gonna start next week. All right. And it's only gonna be open for a little bit of time. Enrollment's only gonna be open for a little bit of time. Right. And everybody who enrolls, it's gonna be super inexpensive too. I mean, it's probably the most inexpensive thing I've ever put out. Right. But we're gonna be because the first group is like the test group, where not the test group, but where I'm gonna get the examples. And we ain't testing. I know it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? But we need to get the testimonials, right? So you want to get in that first group of people. All right. And so to do that, you want to click the link in the description, the first link, sign up for the VIP list. This way you'll be notified as soon as we're ready to launch. So to make sure you get in, right? Because the people who join this, man, your social media is going to explode. Of that, I assure you. And it's very important you pay attention. This is not going to be just for fitness influencers. That stuff I used to do in the past. This is going to be for anybody who wants to grow their following, right? Whatever kind of business you have, or if you just want to be an influencer. Right? You're going to need you need your shit to start popping for that. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right. And I'm going to help you do it. Right. Click that link in the description, the very first link. Get on the VIP waiting list. You do not want to miss out. Also, one more, but I don't hear this shit anymore. That's why he came from Iran. I think they cut your hands off for that shit, for fucking up this shit in Iran. He was like, you need more job security. Also, hey, I have some space available. I'm taking on a few new online clients. Click the link in the description if you want to apply. It's like the fourth link. All right, if you want to apply to work with me directly, right? You got to apply and then I'll hit you back. All right, but I'm taking on a few online clients for people who are trying to get ripped, put on some muscle mass, in 2025 and get ripped, shredded. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be out here chasing hoes. You want hoes chasing you. And then so click the link in the description if you want the hoes chasing you. Apply for one-on-one coaching with me. I'll help you get your fucking get in shape. All right. Then the hoes that chase you. And that's when you're going to need Thot Repellent. This is our last sponsor. This is the easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away. This is going to be released. It was supposed to come out in Christmas, but we had to put supply chain issues, fucking new presidents, tariffs, shit like that. All this shit going on, there's some terrorist attacks. It's like shit got crazy out here. So we had to push the release date back to Valentine's Day, right? But all your super chat going to go toward funding the development of Thot Repellent. All right. You need this. You're going to need this especially if I start training you. Come on, man. All right. All your super chats go towards that. All right. Let's get into some productivity. Let me show you guys how to be more productive. I know you guys got a lot of fucking goals for 2025. And most of you motherfuckers are going to fail miserably because you don't know how to manage your time. It's going to be sad, right? And I want to prevent that from happening, right? And I'm going to help you with the first, and then we're going to talk about how to do that. No, I'm going to give you the habits on how to do that, in this segment we call Habits of a Winner. In this video, I want to show you how you could be more productive than ever, get way more done without having to sacrifice your family, without having to sacrifice your health, without having to sacrifice the things that are important to you, right? Because any asshole can just work, let his fitness go to shit while his wife is cheating on him and his kids hate him, right? That doesn't take skill. Any dickhead can do that. But what we're going to talk about is time management, so you can actually manage all the things, all the areas in your life, and excel in each of them. All right. And the reason, I'm well suited to show you how to do that, because not only am I a father, not only do I have a great relationship with my girlfriend, I have tons of amazing friends, great relationship with my family, but I was able to do that and make millions of dollars simultaneously. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Now, here's the thing. There are four, when it comes to time management, we got to remember there are 4 quadrants of life. All right. 4 quadrants of life. There is wealth, right? Right? Health, I'm trying to think what I'm gonna draw here. Let's draw a muscle. It's a barbell. I know I'm an amazing artist. Try not to get too distracted by it. So health. There's family and friends. Family and friends. Let's go. Let's go. No, I can do better. I can do better than that. I can do better than that. I gotta believe in myself. All right. Family and little house. Yeah. All right. Family and friends, I guess. Right. Then you got sexual relationships. So this is your girlfriend, your wife, your hoes, bitches, whatever, you know. The reason that I don't think this is the same as family is because the average person has 10 relationships. Right. The XXX. Was that good? Is that good? Can I do better than that? All right. I got it. Here we go. I wish they can give me another color. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah. Nah, I got it. I got it. Watch. How can I get the purple? Okay. All right. Sexual relationships. All right. And the reason sexual relationships are in a different quadrant, a lot of people put that with family, friends, and relationship, because the average person has about 9 relationships before they're married. Right. People are people are breaking up with people all the time. Right. But your family, you usually have one family. Right. You know, I've dumped bitches for raising their voice at me, right? But but my family members, they usually get a little more leeway. Okay. Anyway, friends. So these are the 4 quadrants of life. All right. Now, it's important to make a distinction, right? Is this the highlighter? Okay, sorry. All right. So money and health are the two things you need to live, right? You cannot live life without money and health. However, family and friends and sexual relationships make life worth living, right? So you can live without a sex partner. You can live without family, right? But life sucks without those things, right? If you don't have enough money, the way it's set up, you will die, without money, right? You don't have a food, shelter, right? And obviously your health, none left, right? So that's more important. These are the most important. These are the 4 quadrants of life. All right. Now, here's the thing. Just because we want to excel in all of these, we still have to have a focus. It's very important. One that we focus on, right? And different times of your life, you might change the focus, but for the most part, you want to focus on what? The wealth. And here's why. Because this is the only one that improves every other area, right? I know this because when my father killed himself, I had to take care of the family. So I had to do what? Get money. I had to get motherfucking money, right? Can't pay my mom's bills with love alone, right? Needed money, right? When the IRS, when the motherfucking IRS came for all those fucking back taxes because they filed jointly, right? They didn't want my love. They didn't want her son's love, right? They wanted that money. You get what I'm saying? That's how her bills gets paid. You get what I'm saying? When something happens, when my cousin died and it was 20 grand for the funeral, I couldn't pay with my love or tears, right? I had to give them some money, right? So, right. And then, who had to pay for his daughter's school? His daughter still had to go to school, even though there was no more income, right? Had to pay for it with money, not love, right? So money improves your relationship with your family and friends. Money improves your health. Magic Johnson would be dead. He would have died in the 90s, like everyone else who had HIV, if he was not a multimillionaire. And studies show that wealthy people live about 10% longer on average than the middle class, and the middle class lives significantly longer than the poor, right? So poor boys be dying early, all right, for health reasons. And in sexual relationships, I mean, yeah. The most marriages, women initiate 80% of marriage. Women initiate 80% of divorces, and the number one reason cited for divorce as financial reasons stands to reason that if you want to be in a loving, lasting relationship, you better get some of this motherfucking cash, right? So we're going to focus on money because it improves all the other ones, all right? But we're not going to neglect the other ones as well, right? We're still going to make time for our friends and family. We're still going to make time to take care of our health, and we're still going to make time for sexual relationships, all right? Now, how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to show you how to plan everything in your account, how to plan out your life. But before I do that, it's very important that you understand a super important concept, right? And this is the concept of single tasking. Oh. Single tasking. So a lot of people will look at those quadrants and think, oh man, I need to learn how to multitask. Multitasking is a goddamn myth, right? Studies show that when you switch between tasks, things take way longer. It increases how much time you have to. I'm sorry. When you switch between tasks, things take longer, right? You make more mistakes, and it cuts down your productivity by up to 40%, right? And there's a few reasons by that, right? Because So we got to learn how to single task. And when I say single task, I mean we're going to do one thing at a time. So in a minute, I'm going to show you how to plan out all areas of your life in your calendar. But you got to understand this concept first, right? We're going to single task. We're going to do one thing at a time. So you're not going to be working and playing basketball with your kids simultaneously, right? You're not going to be doing spreadsheets while trying to give your girl head, right? We're going to do one thing at a time. It's very important because people try to multitask, but shit don't work, right? And there's a few reasons for that, right? First of all is your brain wasn't designed to do that. This is how the brain works. This is my drawing of a brain. I know I'm a great artist. Just try to focus. Don't get too distracted. All right. So there's a few different parts of your brain, right? First, we have what we call the prefrontal cortex, right? Sorry, I'm laughing at something Nima did. This is the prefrontal cortex, right? And this part of your brain is responsible for shifting attention. Oh. Shifting attention. Oh, you can't read that? All right, fuck that. Then there's another part of your brain. Oh. Sorry. Called the post-parental lobe. All right. That lobe. And this part of your brain is designed that it sets rules for tasks that you're involved in. Let me see if I can write this more legibly. Sorry about my hand. Right. Oh, all right. Then we have another part of your brain. Right. Again, remember, all of these are being activated when you switch task. Right. Well, all right. Then we have this little part of the brain. It looks like kind of like it's like a C. It looks like a little Pac-Man or something. And this is the anterior gyrus. This is all going to make sense. Just bear with me. Right. And this part of your brain is responsible for monitoring errors, to figuring out when you're making mistakes and when you're not. Okay. Then there's one more part. It's kind of up in here, this region. Right. And that's the premotor cortex. And this job is for getting ready for movement, right? So when you're using all these different parts of your brain, you use all these different type of parts of your brain when you switch tasks. And the problem with that is you use way more brain energy than if you just did one thing at a time, because all these brain areas are not recruited when you're working on one thing simultaneously. But if you're trying to switch tasks, do multiple things at once, you're using all these different parts of your brain simultaneously, and you work your brain way harder than you need to, and it's way more arduous on your brain than it needs to be. And the reason that's important is because your brain uses 20% of your body's energy at rest when it's doing nothing, right? So imagine when you start activating all these different regions of your brain, you got them working hard, it starts to go way up, right? As a result, we have what's called, when you multitask, you don't really do two things at once. You're constantly switching tasks. For example, get a pen and paper and do this. Try this experiment. Write the first letter of your name. Then below it, write the first letter of a pet's name. Work with me home, right? Then go back, write the second letter of your name, second letter of a pet's name. And just keep doing that till both names are done. Keep doing that until both names are written. All right. Now, think about how long that took you. Now just write both names one at a time. Odds are you wrote the names one at a time much faster. Why? Because there's no such thing as multitasking. That's what you're doing. You're task switching. Yeah. Why? Because you're task switching when you go back and forth from one name to another. That's what multitasking really is. You're never really doing one thing at a time. You're never really doing multiple things at once. You're switching between tasks. And the reason it takes so much longer is because, right? This is going to represent multitasking. This is going to represent single tasking, right? When you do that, what happens is you do one thing, then you have to stop and your brain has to recalibrate. That's probably what happened when you were writing the first letter of each name, right? Boom. And you had the little gap, then you went and you kept going. However, when you single task, right, you can go the same amount of distance without these little gaps. And the gaps is why it takes you so much longer to get things done, right? Because your brain has to reacclimate to a task when you switch, and those gaps kill productivity. You may be asking yourself, hey, Brandon, why are you talking about this, right? Well, because that's going to bring us, because first we need to understand that we need to single task instead of multitask, right? And now once we've done that, now we have to start doing something called time blocking, right? This way we can focus on one thing at a time. It's very important. So I'm going to show you my calendar. I plan out every hour of every day, right? You can see right here on my. Yeah, I plan out every hour, every day on my calendar, right? I do my best to leave no gaps, right? And I'm only working on one thing at a time during that. As a result, I get things done way faster, right? Because my brain is not working that hard and I don't have those time gaps, right? It's very important. So what you need to start doing is you want to plan your days in Google Calendar. That's the only one worth using. Ah, fuck. Plan your days in Google Calendar. And I suggest you plan out every hour of every day, right? Plan every hour of every day. Right? Then you're going to get so much more done than you did in the past. One, because you're going to do one thing at a time. Oh, and do one thing at a time. That's very important. One thing at a time. Right? And you're going to get so much more done because you're not doing this dumb shit you've been doing all your life. But also, now your day has structure. Your day has structure, and you'll be able to get way more done. Your day has structure, right? and you can actually choreograph it. Now, remember, there's 4 quadrants of life. So we need to plan for each of these quadrants, right? So whenever you're working, you get money sessions, you got to put that in your calendar, right? Your health and fitness, put it in your calendar when you're going to work out. I plan when I'm going to eat, when I'm going to go to sleep, my wake up time, like everything's in there, right? When you're going to plan, if you want to kick it with your homies, do fun stuff with your family and friends, put it in the calendar, right? And what's important is when I'm with my son, I am not doing other shit. I'm not working. I'm not trying to do a bunch of other shit, right? I'm just with my son. He has my undivided attention. When I'm with my girlfriend, same, right? When I'm in the gym, I'm not on my phone. I'm not doing other shit. I'm just working out, right? And that's why I get so much more done but also because I'm not multitasking, but more importantly, because the day is choreographed, right? So there's 168 hours in every day, right? And people tell me, okay, before I get to that, not every day, every week. Take that part out. Forget I said that. Every time I talk about working hard, I talk about, man, you need to be working super hard, right? People get mad at me. And I didn't think it was controversial that if you wanted extreme financial success, that you had to probably put in extreme effort. I didn't think that was a controversial take, but I think people misconstrued it and they said, I don't want to sacrifice family. I don't want to sacrifice my health. No one told you to do that, dipshit, right? No, I'm telling you what's going to happen is you're going to start sacrificing the other things, the bullshit. You're going to plan the stuff that's important because these are the only 4 things that are important. Right. Everything else is bullshit. Right. So you're going to sacrifice the Netflix. Somebody asked me the other day, man, you've been watching that new Squid Games? No, no, I didn't watch the first one. I only have Netflix because every few years, Dave Chappelle comes out with a comedy shit. And that's the only place I can watch it. Right. But that's it, or they got live sports now, right? Shit like that. But I sacrifice. You sacrifice your TV shows, sacrifice your video games. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice Pornhub, right? You're going to sacrifice Call of Duty weed smoking sessions. Maybe you sacrifice going out to the club and all that shit, right? But you'll get the important shit done. Why? Because it's in your calendar. And there's another benefit to this, right? A lot of you guys are trying to break bad habits. You're trying to stop doing some bullshit, right? Well, because you're just trying to stop doing it, but you don't have to even do that. If your calendar is full of the productive things and if your calendar is full of the productive things, the things that help you move towards your goal, there won't be no time for bullshit, right? I haven't smoked weed in over 10 years, but I acknowledge that it's awesome, right? But I don't have to try not to do it. I stopped smoking weed on accident because my calendar was so full, right? And I just if I plan every hour of every day with important stuff, when I'm gonna have time to get high? You get what I'm saying? It was an accident. I was like, oh, I haven't smoked in mad long. I might as well quit. Right. The same thing happened with alcohol. I was just so focused, working hard, that it was like, oh, I haven't drank in like almost a year. Not even trying, just because I was so focused. So you'll inadvertently squeeze out the bad habit because you just won't have time for them. This is very important. Like, this is a cheat code. Everybody wants to, man, do this to quit bad habits. I need to go on a dopamine detox. I need to do no fap. Shut up, nerd. Just pack your calendar full of productive shit and you won't have no time for the bullshit. You get what I'm saying? I got all the same propensity for vices as you, right? Smoking weed is great. Getting drunk is awesome. Chasing hoes, going to strip clubs, all that shit is just as fun to me as it is to you. But my calendar is full of productivity. Yours is blank. So you fill it with vices on accident. And you wonder why you can't stop doing this shit because you didn't You didn't replace it with good shit. You can't just quit the shit. You got to replace it, right? There's an auxiliary benefit to this shit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start time blocking. I want you to think about it like it's a house. No, not a house. This is a coliseum. You're building your coliseum because you're a warrior now. In the first part of this coliseum, you're going to have time blocking. And you're going to use your calendar. Now that you got your coliseum, though, you're going to need to build little pillars. You got to build these pillars. Hold up. I'm getting artistic in this episode, man. Fuck with me. All right. And the first pillar is going to be your get money sessions. Whatever you do for money, if you got your job, a side hustle, if you drive Uber, right, whatever it is you're doing to get money, your financial mode, this is going to be the first pillar, the get money sessions. Right? Put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar, right? Then the next thing that needs to be in your calendar is your health and fitness. Remember, those are the most important ones. Getting money and getting healthy. Boom, your health and fitness. Nothing's more important than money and fitness. All right. Right. Health and fitness. So what you're going to do is you're going to write your bedtime. Bedtime. Let me make this better. All right. So this is going to be when you go to sleep. People ask me, man, how you get up early? Oh, I go to sleep early, man. I go to sleep early. I'm gonna sleep at like 9:30. I'm sleep at 9:30 or 10:30, right? When am I gonna have time to do some bullshit though? If I'm asleep. You get what I'm saying? Bedtime, your wake up time. Workouts. Right? Bedtime, wake up time, workouts. Meals. My meals are in my calendar. Oh, yours are not? No wonder you fucking eat like shit. All right. You got to choreograph your life, man. Oh, and money sessions, this is going to be, job, side hustle, biz, whatever you got going on, right? And it could be the busiest starting. If you want to start a business, if you want to start a side hustle, you don't get around to it. Block off the time in your calendar, man. All right, stop fucking around. And then we start prioritizing the other shit, right? Boom, friends and family. And make no mistake, it's in this order. It's in this order. What color do I need? Oh, we'll go red. All right. Friends and family. Put it in your calendar. My homie Jeremy, he hit me up. He was like, yo, let's get together, man, with the girls. And let's go to, he wanted to go to Nobu. And I was like, bet, when you want to go. And we came up with a time. And next, Jeremy sent me a calendar invite on Google Calendar, right? That's how me and my friends get down, right? That's why we rich. My boy Wade was like, yo, Let's link up and go to the range. We agreed on time. Wade sent me a Google Calendar invite. I swear to God, right? This is real, right? Friends and family, right? So, you know, if you can dinners, you know, hangouts, whatever else you motherfuckers do together, right? And then your sex partners, friends and family, right? Family over women, right? It's very important. Bros over hoes, very important. We can never forget about that. All right. And if you're a woman, same thing, man. Don't be fucking shitting on your friends for some dude. Good friends are difficult to find. All right. But fucking sex partners, you can get one at any time, especially if you're a woman, man. You can get one this afternoon, man. Nima today, man. Just hit him up. I'm just playing. Nima got a girlfriend, man. He's off the market. All right, sex partner, right? So you said date nights, fucking. What else do fucking people do together? That's it, right? Travel. All y'all do is go to dinners and have sex, right? Yeah, vacay. Now, all this shit should be in your calendar, and your calendar should be full of this shit and this shit only. Because what else is there? What else is left? Nothing important. Nothing important. If you got some hobbies or some shit you're trying to do, okay, that's fine. Put it in your calendar. Like even me, I didn't put it here, but you know, I have like time to practice my guitar in the calendar, right? Very brief period of time, but it's in there. You know what I'm saying? This is very important, man. It's very important. And you know, some people may say this is not romantic. And it's like, yo, man, you know what's really not romantic? Not having money. That's less romantic. That's nothing dry up a pussy faster than an empty wallet. That's a fact, man. That's a fact, you know. And then, you know, you prioritize your health and fitness. I mean, what are you going to do? Get around to it? And then your friends and family, they should be in your calendar. And some people will be like, man, you shouldn't have to plan with your family. You shouldn't have to plan with it. Shut your poor ass up, man. I fucking hate you, right? The truth is, if it's not in my calendar, that means I don't give a fuck about it. Right. That means it's not important. The things that are important are on my calendar. My girlfriend is in my calendar because she's important. My son is in my calendar because it's important. You know, some people was making fun of me. And I said this before in the video. He said, Brandon's like, all right, that's time's up, son, gotta go. Right. And it's like, yeah, it's funny. But the truth is, man, kids have fucking bedtimes. Right. Like kids got fucking little kids, they sleep fucking 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Like I know when his bedtime is, right? And that's when it's fucking over. All right. Anyway, you want to put this in your calendar. All right. It's very important, man. It will not work without this. And now we're going to go. Now, if you can do this, if you can work on one thing at a time and put everything in your calendar and plan your days, then every day can be a successful day. Right? It'll help you avoid distractions because now you're on a schedule, right? Now you're on a schedule. And again, when you're working hard, when you're doing your get money sessions, you want to, unless your internet is part of your unless your phone is part of you getting money, you put your phone away, right? Like I'm not doing nothing else right now but doing this video. I'm not checking nothing else. I'm just here with y'all. That's why it's so good, you know? Now, I have another video all about how to use the calendar, and I go into great detail about how to set up your calendar, how to set up Google Calendar, how to set up recurring tasks, and how to automate a lot of this. You want to go watch that video now. All right. Listen, Is there something else? No, real quick. There's 2 super chats here, and then we're gonna get into the market recap. But we got to answer those super chats. What's up? What they talking about? I can't hear her. Oh,
can you hear me now?
Right. Yeah, I hear you now.
We have one for you. Ketosis makes the hose drop. Happy New Year, G. Been using the Victory Vision Planner heavily and sent it to the whole family. You're doing God's work, King.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Listen, the Victory Vision Planner, if you haven't downloaded it, it's a free habit tracker and goal planner. Excuse me. It's 100% free. The link is in the description. And how it looks like this. Let me go back. All right. So when you download it, it's going to look like this. Boom. And this little video that shows you how to use it. Right. But there's 2 parts. One is called the ambition planner. Is very important. Right. So how it works is you put in all your goals here, and then you put in each step of the goal, and then you put a deadline for each step. And then you can go here to this month, and you can see, okay, these are the things and this is what I need to accomplish this month to accomplish for all my goals. And it is only one thing on this month because I made this shit a long time ago and it's not real, right? It's not a real one, right? Then you can see, okay, what do I have to do this week? Oh, this is what I have to do this week. But all your goals will be in there, right? And then you can look at progress and you can see, where you're at with each goal, with each step of each goal. It's probably the best. It's the best goal planner I've ever seen, and it's free. You know, I made it for me, and I have been using it. Me and the people I coached, and I feel like you guys will work for you well for you too. But then we have the habit tracker, right? So this, and we call this the success tracking, right? And basically, you can add more columns if you want, but I have you tracking how many hours you put the day of the week here. And this is a template. How many hours you work. You put your income in here. How many hours you sleep? Did you work out? And what's cool is here you can put your macros here. If you're not tracking, you slacking. But it's dynamic. So look at the calories thing, right? What happens when I change the numbers, right? The numbers change. It's dynamic. But also look at here. I have it added up. So you also put in how many calories you burned each day, right? And this is dynamic too. It's a formula. So you can see if you're in a surplus or a deficit, right? This guy, man, he had 1,000 carbs today, right? And the calories changed because I had the math in here, right? And then you see now he's in a surplus, not a deficit. Let me put it back to what it was. I think it was like 50, right? And then it gives you the average for the month and for the week. I'm gonna show you what those graphs are in a minute, right? And then you put your weight in here too. So now you can track your weight, whether you're trying to gain or lose. And then this, you can add more shit to here, but and you can change this stuff if you want, but don't change. I wouldn't change the calorie formula, the macros, and I wouldn't change the weight especially the weight is dynamic to this, right? So let's say, oh my God, this guy gained 500 pounds in one day, right? You see the graph changes. Well, let me put it back. This is where you can get a visual representation of your progress, right? And same thing with the income too. With this graph is the income. The reason I have it every day because you should be making money every day, man. If you are fucking with me, you're making money every day, right? And you put in how much money you made each day, and it's dynamic too. So you see it went to zero. When it went to zero, if I put it, let's say he hit a lick, came up. Oh, look at that. Let me put it back to the way it was. So it's dynamic. You can see a visual representation of your income. It's super dope and it's free. It's free. All right. And it's the third link in the description. All right. Hey, let's talk. Was there a question here or he's just showing love? Oh, shout out to you, Mr. Hose Drip. What else we got?
He was showing love, but we have Hustle Man. I need an email script and offer for $2,500.
Yeah, I don't know if I understand your question. You got to be more specific. I mean, I kind of understand it, but you definitely need to learn how to write more persuasively. I'm gonna be honest with you, Hustle Man, because I don't really. Oh, you know who that is? I think I know who that is. I talked to him earlier before. Anyway, let's talk about the market recap. If you could rephrase that, Hustle Man, that'd be helpful. Yo, Greg, what up with the market recap? What's good?
What's up, Brandon? What's up, Victornators?
Yo, man, you got every day planned to your every hour, every day planned to your calendar?
Yeah. There are some blank spaces, but it's super helpful for productivity. That's for sure. You get so much more done. Like I got pre-market prep, I've got post-market prep, logging trades. You want to do all of it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Getting
right,
into
so what's
the
up,
markets,
man?
though, we have a wild market. It's wild. And I want to break it down for you guys. I want to help you guys navigate through this terrain. So right now, the S&P 500 down 0.25%. So the overall broad market is red, but Victory Trades is green today. It was a really,
we chilling.
trade. You crushed it this morning too in futures trading.
Come on, man. Listen, guys, if you want to know, if we trade every morning with something called Victory Trades. You get Greg's live alerts, and you can trade with us. Me and Greg, we trade live every morning. I trade futures. Greg trades a number of things, and yeah, man. You to join that, you got to join our Discord. Hit Greg up and say, "Yo, I want to join Victory Trades."
Hell yeah!
And he'll mark you down the right path. All right, what's up?
So what we have on the daily chart of SPYs, we've got this head and shoulders pattern. We've got a left shoulder, LS, we got a head, and we got a right shoulder over here. So the neckline on the SPY is about $580 per share. What does that mean? Well, if we break and close underneath $580 per share, we could start to sell off a decent amount. If you want to get super nerdy with it, you can take the height from the head to the neckline, and you can duplicate that down. And basically, you can go super nerdy with it, but basically that just measures out to the 200-day moving average. Okay. So the market, I wouldn't be surprised if it sold off another maybe 2, maybe even up to 4 or 5% over the next coming weeks and or months. The way that you can like kind of confirm this is by taking a look at the VIX. This is the volatility and fear index. So think how much fear is in the market. You can also take a look at sentiment indicators like the fear and greed index. So just type on Google fear and greed index. Right now we're sitting at fear. And if the market's going to sell off, we'll start dipping into extreme fear towards the left. You can use this as like a contrarian indicator though, if it gets to the extremes. So if we're at like a 1 reading, this is on a scale of 1 to 100, that would be basically like the world is ending. Everybody's freaking out. People are jumping out of buildings. It's going crazy. There's terrorist attacks, you name it. And basically, if we start getting down there, that could be a great buying opportunity in the market. So conversely, if we start to get extremely greedy in the market, that's the time where you want to be fearful. And this is a good time to sell if we start to get towards like a reading of like 90, 95, or 100. We're sitting at a reading of 26 right now, okay? So VIX, if you start to see the VIX start to break out, that's letting you know, oh shit's going down in the market. Stocks are going to be tanking. And when the markets sell off, this really tells us who's been swimming naked, basically, or who has been clothed, who has a sound trading and investing strategy. You need to be able to know when to dial back. Because most people, they just buy, and stocks go up most days, pretty much every day. But how does your portfolio do when the market drops? That's the huge test. Okay? Another thing that can give you a hint of what may happen next is taking a look at the SMH. This is our semiconductor index. And semiconductors, they tend to lead the NASDAQ. They tend to lead the market because semiconductor chips are so important to the economy. Right now, we're in a symmetrical triangle, and this is getting crazy. We have a high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. We're pinching towards what's called the apex over here. And eventually, that energy has to be released. It's got to explode one way or the other. And it can explode up if it breaks and holds over 253, or it'll explode down if it breaks underneath 236. Okay, so take a look at the SMH. NVIDIA is a big leader in the SMH. NVIDIA is holding up just fine right now. Use NVIDIA as another leading indicator for the overall market. Got it? Sweet. All right. In other markets, oil has been up. So this basically can reflect gas prices, but mostly just oil prices. And we've been talking about oil for quite a while. A couple of podcasts ago, I wanted to get to it last time, but we kind of ran out of time. But this is a symmetrical triangle. This is another example of it. Low, high, higher, low, lower, high, higher, low, lower, high, higher, low. And basically we're pinching and oil broke out. And so, yeah, exactly. So that's what you kind of look for. This is what could happen to the SMH, either to the upside or to the downside. But oil, breaking out to the upside, I liked oil calls. We talked about how you could trade UCO. These were alerts in the Victory Trades Discord. So basically, UCO goes up 3 times the amount that USO regular oil goes up. So if you miss the breakout, that's fine. You can wait for a retest. So if UCO comes back into like 27, 26.50, that can be an opportunity to sell cash secured puts. If USO comes back to 74.46, that could be a potential dip buy opportunity. You can also buy oil stocks. So Oxy, it's not really running out of gas. Oxy's only up about 1% today, but it was up a little bit more in the morning. This is another Victory Trades trade alert. Buying yesterday, selling in the morning. Boom. So Oxy, I do think that it can outperform. And that doesn't mean that it goes straight up every day. It just means if the market drops, it's probably going to drop less. If the market's green, it's going to be more green. Okay. So I like Oxy. I like oil. XLE. This is the energy sector.
Oh, yeah.
I think that this can outperform in the first quarter of 2025. Okay.
So we buying calls, leap calls. What we doing?
You know, I think you could do leap calls. I would say since XLE pays such a good dividend, you could just go with the shares. It's not going to make you as much, but it's not going to lose you as much during times of drawdown. But XLE, I think you can maybe take a good purchase, maybe at like 85, 60, and see if that can maybe retest the underbelly of the 200-day moving average. So maybe 91 would be a good target.
How much? What kind of calls would you be? What kind of?
You know, let's take a look at the options. Let's do this live. All right. So basically, when I'm looking at when I want to buy calls, I want to get a good deal on the calls. So I take a look at on the right side of the option chain. This is the expected move over here. So this is what the options market prices in the range to be. And they all do all these nerdy calculations. It's called the Black-Scholes model. But basically, XLE, if you take a look, there's a big jump right here. But right here, I would say I would look at something like the March calls. March 2025, XLE. The bid-ask spreads are a bit wide, but that could be due to it being after hours. You could maybe look at buying something like the 88 call, and then you could take profits into 90 or $91 per share. You could also do bullish put credit spreads. You could do bullish call debit spreads. You could do butterflies centered around that 91 strike. You can do whatever you want. You can always just tag me in the Discord and I can help you construct a trade that'll fit your risk tolerance. Okay. So that's XLE. Next up, I want to talk about precious metals, gold, silver. Gold is starting to gain some relative strength. My forecast for gold into the end of February is neutral to slightly bullish. Okay.
Okay.
I've been wheeling silver. I started a silver position earlier this week or late last week. And I think that silver SLV can maybe start to retest maybe something like $28 per share, which doesn't seem like a big gain. But if a stock just goes sideways or up, you print money using the wheel strategy. Okay. So I like silver for the wheel. I like GDX for the wheel. This is a basket of gold miners. This is underneath the 200-day moving average, so it does carry a little bit more risk. But I think that GDX can maybe retest something like 37 or 38. And even if it just goes sideways for a bit, you print cash. If you can sell cash secured puts, get assigned, sell covered calls.
If you think that gold is going to go sideways, why not do a iron condor?
You could. I would weight it bullishly, because when I say sideways to neutral to bullish, it could just scream straight up. So in that case, like, why not? You could do bullish put credit spreads. I've got a few different gold trades running, but you can basically sell a put and then buy a put at a lower strike price. Basically, what I have right here is I sold the 242 put, bought the 240 put, as long as GLD is above 242 on February 21st, you'll just receive the max profit. And then your buying power will come back the next day.
I got you.
Will come back into your account. So bullish put credit spreads you could do. You could do iron condors. I would weight it towards the upside. So you'd sell a bullish put credit spread closer to the money and sell the call credit spread further out of the money.
Okay.
Yep. So, and for those of you guys that don't know, if you deploy an iron condor strategy, you make money if the stock stays within the range that you expect it to stay within at whatever expiration date you choose. So you don't want it to go up too much or down too much. You kind of want it to stay in that zone or at least finish in that zone.
If you guys don't know what none of that shit mean, join our free Discord, man. Learn this, the Victory Unit Discord. I got free courses in there. I'm giving free advice in there all the time. It's lit. You definitely want to join that.
That Oxy trade was posted as a free trade idea in the Victory Unit Discord. I made a YouTube video full of trade ideas. Oxy was one of them. I talked about Netflix puts being one of them. We talked about UNG calls being one of them. That was before UNG goes up 21% in a day.
Come on, man.
It's there as a resource free for you. Yeah.
Oh, you got a super chat. Stretch it out because I got to run and get something.
Yeah.
for the next segment.
I got the podcast down. What's this super chat? XRP is going to skyrocket. Best big money chance. It totally could. We broke it down last time on Tuesday on the Victory Talk podcast. And basically what we want to do is we want to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of like the leader. Bitcoin's kind of like the SPY for cryptocurrencies. So SPY leads the market or dictates what the market's going to do. Bitcoin's going to have a huge effect on what XRP does. Of course, XRP has a life of its own. It's going to do its own thing. It's going to be chilling. I like XRP as a breakout over $3 per coin. So if you pull up a chart of XRP on your Coinbase app, you can buy it if it breaks over 3. It is a riskier trade. Treat it like an options trade. It depends on what your time horizon is too. I know some people that just want to buy XRP and hold it forever. That's totally cool. I like to trade the altcoins just because the volatility is so good. But even then, I prefer just selling options, doing SPX credit spreads. That's a good strategy. We showed that SPX trade on Tuesday. I did take half profits on that today on this down day. And so, you could trade XRP. I just don't see any huge allure to it when you can trade options on large cap tech stocks. Yeah.
It's like, it's right there with the other thing, with the stocks.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many different ways to make money. If you find really good success with crypto, go for it. Me personally, I don't like to trade crypto too much just because there's a lot of fees that you incur with it. You got to swap your USD to Ethereum in some cases. You got to swap your USD, and then there's the gas fees. It's all up to you. I'm not saying it's bad though. There is a lot of money to be made in crypto, but there's a lot of money to be made in any market.
Come on, man.
What I am going to be starting to look at in a bit is maybe start dollar cost averaging back into Celsius. Their value of Celsius is $36 per share. It's been a beaten down stock, kind of been forgotten about. And what I like about that is that gives the best opportunities because then you can sell when everybody else is buying and talking about it. I don't see any good technical buy setups for just like a big ass lump sum, but maybe I'll do something like buy 10 shares a week, buy 100 shares a week, and just keep dollar cost averaging. And my price target on CELH, I think it can get up to $36 per share, but I think a good price target for 2025 is $32 per share. So that represents, 20% upside. You could also wheel Celsius. You could sell cash secured puts, get assigned, sell covered calls. The options premiums are really good for the wheel on Celsius. It tends to do really well in the summertime. That's when people are drinking more of their beverages.
Yeah, that's when we caught that huge run.
Yeah, that was summertime last year. And you can kind of see how the stock reacts. This was This is the start of 2023.
Yeah.
Right here. And you can kind of see, look at that. Massive gains, rally, bull flag, rally, bigger bull flag, bigger rally. So yeah, Celsius, it's just something on watch. That's not exactly a trade idea. Similar to that is TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors. If the market holds up and doesn't go through a correction, TSM is my number one stock for 2025. I think that this can break over 208 and break over 212 if the market holds. So this is a nice ascending triangle setup. You do not want to miss this if it starts to break out and hold, especially if the bullish volume comes in. Spam the call options. I'm going to take a bigger size trade on this if it triggers. Okay, so that's TSM. One last thing I wanted to talk about, and then we can break down super chats. I can break down your questions, Brandon. This is Brazil. This is EWZ. And Brazil has been getting smashed lately, but it is starting to show some relative strength. EWZ up today. Think of this as like the SPY for Brazil. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the SPY for Brazil. We do have a bullish engulfing candle today, and a bullish engulfing candle itself is a buy setup. You can buy over the break of today's high. You can put your stop loss right underneath today's low, and you can see if you can get a retracement. I think a good target for EWZ, stretch target would be $25 per share, but maybe something more conservative would be like just a small little trade up to $23.60.
Okay.
So your risk would be you're risking about 2% to make 4% and maybe even 10 or 11%. You can just size up into it if you want to, All
right.
But that's all I have for the market recap. Do you have any questions, Brandon? Anything on your mind?
I'm kind of chilling, man. I'm in this like zone where it's like I'm just kind of holding right now. I'm sitting on my hands. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't really have no, okay. You know what? Matter of fact, let me ask you about
what's on your
XLE.
XLE. XLE. So yeah, XLE is still my top pick for my top sector of SPY. So if it can hold above 85, 65, bullish. Even if it comes down to this 83 area, I still think it's a good deal. So yeah, this is a major sell-off that we had towards the end of 2024. Generally, whenever you have a straight down sell like that, you can get some of those sharper rallies. Okay. Yeah. So I like XLE, the energy sector. Yeah.
What about XLF?
Ooh, XLF. I do think XLF.
The financial sector.
Yeah. So we talked about this last time, how if it breaks underneath 50, it can start to test this 48 to 47.50. We talked about cash secured puts right at that support. I haven't changed the chart at all.
Okay.
I would say that it could still sell off with the broad market, but I do think that eventually it can then start to recover. I don't know if we breach the all-time highs, maybe until like Q2 or Q3 of 2025. I could be wrong about that, but XLF, I think you can wheel it. I think that's the best strategy to profit from it. Goldman Sachs is one of the stronger names in XLF.
Yeah.
So GS longs could be okay. They do have their earnings coming up on January 16th, 8:30 a.m. So that's something to consider too. But yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we have any super chats. Listen, guys, if you want to learn more about this, man, join the Victory Unit Discord. Greg's in there helping you people out, answering questions. And if you want to trade with us every morning and get Greg's trade alerts in real time at your phone, right out on your phone. When you're in the Discord, tell them you want to join Victory Trades, man. It's going to be lit.
Hit me up. Right? And remember, we don't message you first in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
We don't do that.
The scammers, we got to kick out scammers every day who trying to message people and trying to get Bitcoin. I will never ask you for Bitcoin for as long as I live. I promise you that, man.
Yes.
All right. Whatever. All right, bro. Let's get it. Peace. All right. I think we got some more super chats.
We have Perfect Shot Filming. This is Hustle Man. We talked on Monday. Can you help me create an email script offer for $2,500 to sell my services to energy drinks companies? Thanks.
All right, Hustle Man. We talked. Him and I did talk on Monday, and I said, remember I sent you that message. You got so he asked how. First of all, it's a different question now, but on Monday he asked me how to get more clients for his photography shit, and I was like, man, I gotta ask Nima because Nima does film and photography. He's doing it right now, and I feel like you'd be better suited to answer that question. And then, as far as can I help him create an email script? Are you doing cold emails or you have an email list? Like what? I would like this question. I don't understand. Like you got a list of email energy drink companies?
I think what you said is right. He wants to fetch their emails and just reach out by email to energy drink companies to.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do that. I don't think that's gonna work, man. I don't think Code. Would you want to email Red Bull? You know what I'm saying? Code and say, "Let me work for you." Like that shit. It ain't gonna work. Like that shit ain't gonna work. That shit ain't gonna work. Like email marketing really only works when people opt in when they give you their email in exchange for some free value or something.
I worked with Celsius. It worked with Celsius, but what did they say though? What was their response?
Yeah.
When you say it worked, did you land a project? Did they say?
Yeah.
Because I've even I remember a couple of months ago, I got on a video call with him on Instagram. He had some questions. They paid $1,000.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, it seems like you know how to make this shit work. Cold email and energy drink companies. Seems like you better at that than me. That's not something I ever tried. I think you might have to just replicate what's been working. You know what I'm saying? Like if that shit worked one time, then keep doing it. But I would have said, nah, that ain't gonna work. But like, yo, shout out to you, man, for getting that stack. But
they've been lowballing you. Like if they paid you 3 videos, I don't know the videos, like $1,000, but like.
I mean, but shout out to you for that working, man. I mean, if I was you, I'd follow up with whoever your contact was there.
Yeah.
And as far as writing an email script to cold email all these energy companies, man,
what I would do is I would find the energy drinks that are about to grow, not the established ones, because the ones that are about to grow and are just launching their product, they are the ones with most need in the content.
Yeah. And use that Celsius play you got as for your resume,
But I mean, that's great though. I mean, being able to work with these brands, that's fantastic. But I think the brands that are growing and they need content and they typically don't have, they're always looking for the ones that are about to be established. They're just launched their energy drink, and you can find them also locally. There are a whole bunch of them in Florida, as an example. Like I would reach out to them.
Are there a whole bunch of energy?
There are a lot.
Like when you say a lot, like what kind of number are we talking about? Like
like
hundreds?
No, not hundreds, but I know like 5-6 brands that we haven't heard about them. They are just launching with new recipes. They want to compete in the market.
Yeah,
you can find them, but it says yes, a few hundred.
I mean, yeah. Listen, man, like. I'm not the best person to give you advice on this because I wouldn't even thought it would have worked once, but I stand corrected.
I don't know, man. Just that's the main hub in Florida. Yeah, that's the main hub in Florida. Yeah, the energy drinks in Florida are really popping. Like he says, a few hundred are in Florida.
You gotta, but one thing, because I've seen your Instagram, homie, like your shit gotta look. Your Instagram is your resume, right? So you got to make that shit. It doesn't look like you're an energy drink, like you specialize in energy drink marketing, right? It doesn't look like it. Look like you specialize in vacation, tropical shit, and that's fine, right? But it's not fine for what you're attempting to do with that question. You get what I'm saying? Like if I wanted to focus on energy drink companies, then I would make sure that my shit look. It's like, yo, I mean, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's check it out, right? Because it's not difficult to find what they're looking for, right? Sorry, hold on. Let's go to their Instagram. Like when I go to Celsius's Instagram, oh, you can bring it up, Nima. It's like look at the kind of content they're doing, the kind of shit they're filming. Like your page don't look like this. You know what I'm saying? And like you got your Instagram's gonna be your resume. First thing they're gonna do, they're gonna check that shit. You know, so you gotta if this is the market you want to specialize in, then you gotta make it look like you specialize in that shit. You get what I'm saying? It's very important. Because getting the job once is great, right? But it's like a sample size of one is not statistically relevant. But I'm not telling you not to make this your specialty, but you got to specialize. If you're just a photography guy, then it's going to be difficult. I mean, you got to compete with every photographer, every videographer in the world if you're just a generalist. But if you're a specialist, if you specialize in fitness or action or whatever kind of photography and videography, then it's like you stand out. You know what I'm saying? It's very important, right? So before I do cold email, I would start working on like your presentation first. So when you email them, they can see like a presentation that looks like, oh yeah, this is the guy I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, some fucking dipshit, almost every day, there's a dipshit DMing me saying, man, yo, I love you. It's like he must have got the script from some course. And he was like, yo, man, I love your following, but I feel like you can be doing way better. You know what I'm saying? You want to hop on a Zoom call so I can explain how I can increase your engagement? And I look on his shit, man, this motherfucker got one selfie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, nigga. If this shit was popping, then, maybe it might be worth popping. And I'll be like, all right, maybe it might be worth it, right? You gotta remember that, like, your social media is your resume, right? If you're in business, if you're in marketing, even if you're dating, right? Everything it's like your resume. Like, people are going to check that shit out. No matter what you're trying to get into. And that's why it's really important that you curate it and focus it to get the best impression. And that's part of what we're going to be covering in the Influencer Domination Accelerator. Is launching next week, where I'm going to take a handful of individuals by the hand, right? And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to grow your social media, what kind of content to post, how to post the content, how to film the content, all this shit. And it's going to be super affordable, and it's going to launch next week. And it's only going to be open for a certain amount of time. And then everybody who gets in, that class of people, we're going to run with it. We're going to work this shit together, right? But in order to make sure that you don't miss out on the opportunity, you got to click the first link in the description, join the VIP notification list, so you're notified as soon as what comes out. And it's not just for fitness influencers, like stuff I've done in the past. This is for anybody who's serious about growing their social media. If you got a business and you want to get more clients, grow your social media. If you want to start a business, you want to make sure it has a good foundation to stand on, grow your social media. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to be an influencer and make money off brand deals and affiliate shit, I know people who do it, right? Grow your social media, right? It's very important. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do. I built my business off the backbone of my social media, and I made millions, right? And I'm gonna show you guys how to do the same. All right, click the first link in my description. What else we got?
We have Derek. I'm interviewing for a remote sales job, but I keep running into coaching offer sales calls instead. Where do you recruit your sales team from?
Man, my sales team, all comes internally. So they're typically students who've been in my high ticket training program, where I teach trainers how to grow their online fitness business. And they found some success in that. They were able to quit their jobs, and they ended up with more time, and they said they wanted to work more. And I was like, all right, man, let's do it. And they work for me. And all my salespeople, they still do online training. And in fact, one of my guys, man, he made $20K last month, from online training, but he still works for me doing sales. So I recruit from internally, because the reason I recruit internally is, one, they know the product really well because they've been through it, right? They believe in the product, so they have conviction right? Because they made some money doing it, right? And they learned sales from me because I teach in the high ticket training program. I teach everyone how to do sales, right? So they already know how I sell. So it doesn't really train. I don't have to train salespeople. Like if I was to hire you off the street, I'd have to train you, and I'd have to teach you the program, and it's just more work. And I just rather not, and I don't need to, because I teach. Yeah, I just don't need to. So we do. Everybody's internally. We don't hire nobody from the outside. Sorry, you keep. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. Keep going. You'll get there.
We have Anna here. Do you still work out in your home gym or preferred shared?
My condo has a really nice gym, and this is the main place I work out. But I have like multiple gym memberships. Fucking Boxer. It's a gym in here in Miami. Boxer, Powerhouse, another gym in Miami. Equinox, and I got the Planet Fitness membership for when I visit my mom. There's a Planet Fitness not for her. I keep that shit just for her. But yeah, but most of the time I'm working out in the gym in my condo. All right, let's get it. All right, guys. If you are, hold on, let me pull something up. If you guys, it's a beginning. I know a lot of you guys are trying to get in great shape. Right. If you want online training, if you want me to train you, right, work with you to be a trainer, there's a link where you can apply for training with me in the description. Click that right now and start applying. And I'm taking on a few clients, not a whole lot. A few more clients because I already got a lot. Right. But if you want to really get in shape for this year, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take it to the next level, man. We're going to take it to the next level. All right. There's something I wanted to talk about. All right. I know a lot of you guys want to get more money. We're going to talk about that in the segment we call Real Talk. This is what I want you to do if you got $5,000 in the bank or less, because that is a goddamn emergency. And I'm going to give you the game plan to stop being a motherfucking broke boy, stop being a poor boy, and you are going to come up immediately. All right. And there are a few things we need to do to accomplish this. All right. The very first thing you're going to do, all right, is you're going to cut expenses aggressively. You got to understand, man, less than $5,000 in the bank is a goddamn emergency. This is if you live in a first world country. If you live in some shit country, you watching this shit. I don't even know how you watching this shit. I don't even know how you're watching this shit. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna cut expenses immediately. And here's why. We need to get our income under control. I mean, we need to make more money. And the way you get rich is you gotta make more money than you spend and invest the difference. But you've been spending almost all your money. That's why you broke. And or you're not making enough. We're going to fix both. But very first thing we got to do is we got to cut expenses. So the first thing we want to do is start tracking expenses. For over a decade, I used something called mint.com to track all my expenses. But now we're using something called Monarch. They do not pay me, much to my chagrin. They do not pay me to shout them out, but you better believe I'll take the money if they come, right? If they want to sponsor this video or anything else, I will take the money. And guess what? You assholes at Monarch only got a few more motherfucking months before I have to show up and take the money. Because the way I look at it, you owe me a few $100,000. All right. I've been shouting you motherfuckers out ever since mint.com shut down. All right. I'm just joking in case anyone's lawyers listening. It's just a joke. All right. We're going to start tracking expenses, right? And Monarch is really dope, honestly. It's really dope because what you do is you link all your accounts, all your bank accounts, all your debit cards, your credit cards, your investment accounts, link everything up to monarch.com. And it does a lot of the tracking for you, right? It does a lot of the tracking for you, right? But I still go through every day and I just make sure the categories are correct, you know? But it's actually better than Mint. Like, it was a beautiful surprise that Mint shut down. All right. Then now once you have a clear image of once you have all your spending, first what we need to do is your broke ass needs to stop eating out. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You are going to buy no new shit. Buy no new shit. You are going to cut unnecessary shit. Fuck you doing with Netflix and no money? You don't make enough money to watch Netflix, loser. I don't watch Netflix and I'm fucking filthy rich. Right? Cut all unnecessary shit. This is all your subscriptions, all the bullshit, man. Because you are in an emergency situation, motherfucker. All right? No HBO Max. No motherfucking Paramount Plus. No OnlyFans. Now, next thing we're going to do, remember, you got $5,000 in the bank, right? You are going to get a second job. You bitch nigga. All right. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be like, yo, man, I'm broke, man. I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, man, you don't make enough money with your work? No. It's like, well, why don't you get another job? Oh, because, and I want to wring your fucking neck every time one of you broke boys tell me that shit. Right. Out of love. Because I've been there. I want to strangle you because I love you. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't give a fuck about you, I wouldn't get emotional about it. You know, like, yeah, whatever, poor boy. You know what I'm saying? I would just walk away or laugh, right? But I want to fucking wring your goofy ass neck because I love your broke ass. All right? Get a second job. And I went through this. After my father blew his brains out, shot himself in the head when I was 24, right? It was during a recession of 08, fucking worst financial recession since the depression, record unemployment. I couldn't get a job. Even though I had a college degree, I couldn't get a good job because everybody was laying, companies were going out of business. People were getting laid off. We had record levels of unemployment, right? Now check this out. I just said, fuck it. And I was personal training in the morning, right? I worked security from 10 to 6. Then after work, I worked for a moving company. Some bitch ass nigga said, man, how'd you work for a moving company afternoon? Because when do you think people move, man? After work. That's when the most moving happens, at least in Manhattan, right? Anyway, or on the weekends, right? You know, and I worked for a moving company after that. And then on the weekends, I trained people in the morning and I managed a restaurant. I was the weekend manager of a restaurant in Queens on Steinways, right? And I just worked 4 jobs. I just worked all day, every day, 12, 14 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? 2 years of doing that, I wasn't broke no more. In fact, both of those years, I made over $100,000, right? Working blue collar jobs during a recession. You get what I'm saying? Right? Get another fucking job, bro. Right? And y'all got advantages that I didn't have back in 08. You get what I'm saying? So you can You can work overtime. Right? Let's say you can work overtime. If you can, if your job allows it. Right? You can drive Uber. It's like all you motherfuckers who are broke. I mean, why ain't you driving Uber after work? Like I would just do that. I would have loved to drive Uber instead of working for the moving company. It might have been less money, but it would have been way less strenuous on my back. All right. Drive Uber, whatever, man. You can fucking, what else can these motherfuckers do, man? Regular ass job. Delivery. Yo, motherfuckers, I remember this one dude, man. He told me he was broke and he was, oh, you got a job? Like, nah. He's like, you doing Uber? Nah, man. You're not doing Uber Eats. He was like, nah, man, I don't, blah, 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 blah. You might have to humble yourself, man. You might have to humble yourself. I was working for moving companies. I had a college degree. You know what I'm saying? I had a college degree working security. Sometimes you got to humble yourself. If you broke, man, you can't have no money and pride. Fuck you proud of. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, you got to humble yourself. And that same day that motherfucker said that, the next day, it was a snowstorm in New York. I was living in Manhattan on the Upper West Side, and I was hungry, so I was going to order breakfast, right? And yo, man, a motherfucking chick she walked, because in big cities, some people do Uber on foot. Motherfuckers be on bicycles on foot. This chick walked in the snowstorm to deliver my breakfast. And I was like, yo, man, this chick is hustling harder than most of you motherfucking dudes. Anyway, delivery, right? Get a second job, right? Boom. You know what I'm saying? And then, yo, work after work. If you done at 5, man, work from 5 to 9, 5 to 10, whatever. 5 to 9, go to sleep at 10. Wake up, do it again. You know what I'm saying? You broke. I don't want to hear nothing about enjoying life. How much life you enjoying with $500,000, man? I wouldn't be able to enjoy shit. It'd be difficult for me to sleep. I'd be panicking. You need to get serious. Work after work, work on the weekends. Right? Stop fucking around, man. And you don't sacrifice health. All right. You don't sacrifice health. Still get sleep. Right. You got to plan out every hour. You got to plan shit in your calendar. Get a second job, man. Stop fucking around. All right. And then the next thing you do, in order to do this shit, you're going to have to start planning in your calendar. Plan every day. Your calendar. Right? You're going to have to structure. You're going to have a bedtime. You're going to have to wake up time. I still worked out when I had 4 jobs. Granted, it was easier because I was a trainer. So I worked out with my clients. Right? I still fucking got 7 hours sleep a night. Right? That's pretty much what I need. You might need more. Whatever. Put it in your calendar. Plan my workout time. Right? But you motherfuckers are, I know for a fact, you motherfuckers watching this, click on this because you have $5,000 in the bank. You motherfuckers, you logged more Call of Duty hours than me this year. I assure you. The screen time on your phone looks way different than mine. I assure you. You got time, man. You just a bitch, right? You got to stop being a bitch, right? And the next thing you need to do is you have to build your skills. You build a high income skill. Right? You got to learn some sort of skill, man. You want to learn some sort of skill. So off the top of my head, something I can come up with is sales. right? Fucking video production or editing. Something that people will pay you for. Right? Fucking media buying. Like if you can learn how to do ads, learn how to run ads. I know people who are millionaires, like multimillionaires, and they're just ad buyers. They run people's social media their ads, like Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Right. Social media management. I was talking like virtual assistant, but it's not high. No. social media management. People pay you to buy or grow. To run or grow their social media. And this is just off the top of my head, man. I'm doing no research. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then in order to do that, yeah. Online fitness. My first business, I was an online trainer. After I was working those first 4 jobs, right? I had the idea, hey man, what if I start training people online instead of in person? And it was more difficult back then because there weren't as many social medias to do the marketing, and nobody was showing you how to do it, right? So all of us who started online training back in 2009, we had to invent it, right? I was one of the pioneers, right? And now I teach people how to do it as well. I teach people how to grow their online fitness business. If you want to learn how to do that, I have a free resource. It's called the 10 Commandments of Online Training. It's a free ebook you can download, and it'll give you the outline of how it works, and you see if it's something that's for you, right? But you'll have a way better understanding of how that works. But a service business is one of the best businesses to start, especially if you're broke, because there's very little overhead and there's very little startup cost. You get what I'm saying? And especially if you love fitness, because I've always had an affinity for fitness. I've always been in love with it. So it didn't feel like work. It's fun, and it's still fun. I still train people now. I still have online clients now, right? If you want to learn more about that, download the free ebook, right? Speaking of which, now you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to study, right? So you could, there's a lot of free resources online, right? You know what I'm saying? You can, like, I have a free ebook, right? There's, but you can get books, courses, fucking get a YouTube. Get a mentor. You probably have to pay him. In fact, you want to pay your mentor, right? I don't let anything that's important to me. I don't let people do it for free. Like if somebody wants to do something for free for me, I'm like, I'm gonna pay you because I need them to take it seriously. Otherwise, they think they're doing you a favor and they're gonna fucking do it when they get around to it, right? But I need them to take it seriously. It's very important, right? And build the high income skill. And then once you have the high income skill, then you want to leverage that skill for money. Right? But you got to work your way up here. You got to remember, you're starting at the fucking bottom. You got $5,000. You are in an emergency situation, right? So very soon we do cut expenses aggressively. Get another fucking job. You got to get out of this emergency situation. Build yourself a cushion, right? Then you got to build a high income skill. Then you want to start leveraging that skill for money, right? Where you can do that is, get a better job, right? And then maybe you got a skill now, you can get a better job. Maybe you don't have to drive Uber all the time, right? Get a better job, right? Start a business, with your new skills, right? Because if you don't have skills, like you're not gonna fucking. If you're not good at anything, how you gonna start a business? Who's gonna pay you? Who's gonna pay you to do something bad? Nobody, right? You're gonna be a scammer. Right? You're gonna be a scammer if you're not good at something. You try to sell a service that's something you're not good at. That's how scammers are made, right? And right, I really think that's how most scammers are made. Like, I think most of the people who are considered scammers, I don't think that they're trying to scam. I think they just suck at what they do. Because yeah, scamming is actually more difficult than actually providing a good product or service if you're good at it. If you're really good at it. Like for me, it would be more difficult to scam because now I have to deal with the ramifications. People gonna be making YouTube videos about me. I'm gonna end up on CoffeeZilla or some shit. Like, fuck that, right? I'd rather just give a good product or service, right? You get glowing reviews, you get tons of testimonials and referrals, and it makes everything easier, right? But that's why you got to get good first before you can try to sell something, right? Then you got to watch your back. You might scam the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? Like, then what? All right. All right. Start a biz. Get better. I mean, those are pretty much the thing. You can freelance. Because Nemo was freelancing, freelance videographer before he met me. And I think he still does some freelancing, right? So he still does a little bit of freelancing now, right? So that works. All right. But in order to do that, right, remember, like all this takes time. Like this, if you're broke, the only resource you probably have is time. Right. And that's why it goes right back. You're going to have to get even more aggressive with your calendar. Right. And I have another video on time management that you should watch right after this to show you exactly how you can start managing your time better. So you can start getting a lot of this, so you can start doing this, right? And I know I made a lot of jokes. I talked kind of cruel. And I may have sounded like I didn't give a fuck about you, but I really do care, right? Like, if you motherfuckers are broke, you don't have to be broke in a first world country, right? So humble yourself, cut expenses, get that second job, right? Start building that skill. And then once you have the skill, you can start making some more money, all right? Cool, man. Hey. I think we got another super chat before we get up out of here. Somebody made it in at the buzzer.
We have Gabriel. If I'm fat and get in shape and do online training and help other fat people to get in shape in 1 to 3 years.
Is that a question? Yeah. Is it?
And get in shape and do online training and help other fat people to get in shape in 1 to 3 years. Yeah, I don't know the question here.
Well, I'm going to answer what I think I hear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So actually, we teach our students that. So like, you got to start. What you want to do is, like, right now is start documenting yourself getting in shape. Right. You will start documenting it, right? And then walk people through that journey. And then once you actually get, and so I teach this to my students, because sometimes people join HTT is like, yeah, I got to get back in shape. I'm not in the best shape. And like, cool, man. So we show them how to actually get in shape and monetize it. So what you want to do is, I'll give you the brief version of it. You want to start getting in shape now and document it every day. Like, show your journey, show your weigh-ins, before and afters every week, how you're making progress. And what's happening, people are going to get excited. They're going to be watching. They're going to start cheering you on. And then once you get in shape, boom, you'll be like, hey, man, if you want to get in shape like I did, you just saw me do it, send me a DM and let's talk about it, right? And that's how you get your first clients. And we've seen a lot of people have a lot of success with that. It's called the makeover madness strategy that we teach at HCT. I just gave you like the cliff notes, but we've seen a lot of people have a lot of success with that. If you want to learn more about that, download the ebook 10 Commandments of Online Training, right? It'll help you out a lot. And because you've been fat, you'll be really good at helping fat people. Because, I've never been fat. right? I've never been fat, so that was like one of the things when people who were like super fat come to me. It was difficult. It wasn't as easy for me to market to them. I could help them. I knew how to help them, but it wasn't as easy for me to market to them because I didn't understand some of the nuances of being fat. Right? There's certain shit that fat people go through that I don't think about. Right? And I've never thought about. Right? And they're thinking about, you know, buying certain clothes or sitting in seats on airplanes or fucking kids laughing at them or, you know, shit like that. Like I was with my son and he was like, is she pregnant? She wasn't pregnant. Right. Like, so imagine you got shit like that happening. Right. Imagine like that shit I never had to go through. Right. So I couldn't relate to the point where it was, I could still help them and I would still get those clients and I helped them get in great shape, but it wasn't as easy for me to market to them because I didn't understand the nuances, right? For example, I had some of my students, they like every once in a while I get somebody and they want to market strictly to moms, right? I've never been a mom, right? But there were certain things that she was able to articulate in her marketing that really touched the person who she was trying to reach, right? So that's the advantage you're going to have when it comes to helping fat people. It's actually really, really dope. All right, guys, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This has been another episode of Victory Talk. I'll holla at y'all.